Hi, welcome back to Small Talk Queens, episode 41. I'm Megan.
I'm Kelly.
So we apologize. Tonight we have bad lighting. Last week we had bad fucking sound. In one of these days, maybe we'll get it together. I don't know.
You've got to appreciate the campiness of it.
Right, it's fucking campy. It doesn't get any fucking campier. So last week we realized, because we're outside and the little microphone thing that we do have that comes with a stand, the phone is sitting on to record. I forgot to plug it in. It's plugged in tonight. So it was catching, like, it was just going in and out because it was catching the wind and the sound of the water from the pool and other shit. So, and normally we would listen to it first, but people were eager to get the fucking episode up last week. So we got it up. So it sucked. We apologize. So, no, I mean, other people wanted it up.
Oh.
So like, I didn't watch it like the hour that I usually do. Anyway, so episode 41. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Mrs. Chris in Texas, for clarifying, since we couldn't figure out the fuck subbed meant, and it was as simple as subscribed. Wow.
I don't know that slang. I did not know that.
Oh, I'm going to just say that since I couldn't figure it out, it's been a long summer. Look, maybe the brain pickle. The brain pickled my heat. The heat pickled my brain.
It has
I don't
been
know.
a fucking long summer.
It's been a long summer, and so we have a redo for our seating area tonight. So we're still on our porch where we normally are. We're sitting. So this is the opposite where we usually sit. On the couches and whatnot, and she's like back in the fucking corner. It's like deep couch city. We only have light right above us, and so it's too dark on the other side. So tonight you get a little reflection on the glasses, and you get the whatever little shine on the forehead.
It's just campy.
It's campy, and right behind my shoulder, right here, behind this curtain is where the fox and rabbit incident occurred. I'm still fucking hostile. Close that. So we have lots of fun. So it's a Thursday night, and so I'm just gonna have a little bit of wine while we're doing this. Also, because I want to show off my new hot glassware that we mentioned last week, and in order to do so, you can't see anything clear in it. I don't know water.
So much for
I never said dry August. If I did, I take it back. August is almost over. Labor Day weekend coming up. We're gonna be dry. We're gonna be dry for a couple of
just 2 weeks.
18 days. We're going to be dry for 18 days before we go on vacation. There we go. Look at that. I have to peel this shit off. Here we go. So here's my new mug. I mean, I have a couple of them. It's a skeleton. It's a skull. Isn't that cool? So I feel like we can see it better if I just...
going to pour that whole bottle in there?
I'm going to pour it in here so you can see the face.
Oh, my God.
It's about half.
Oh.
It's not even half.
Oh.
You can't see it. Well, that fucked it up even more. Okay, well, now I've got a mug of wine.
Why don't you pour it back in the
For
bottle?
fuck's sake. I'm not going to pour it back in the bottle. Okay, and we can... Nothing move so I don't dump this fucking bottle of wine.
That'll be really unfortunate.
Okay, so...
A lot of hostilities. The hostilities
It's been a week.
Building.
It's been a week. I mean, so last week...
Building.
Last week was when I sat on the star and I punctured my ass,
butt.
which is still bruised and still has a fucking scab on it.
Ow.
Fucking thing. She falls off the couch, so she's gonna slide around there all night.
I don't know.
I don't know what happens. I just sit still and I'm fine.
Happens on my own couch at home.
It's fascinating. So then, so Friday night we went to. Pardon me while I get my cork back in my bottle
Bruce
here.
concert.
We went to see Bruce Springsteen, right? Bruce Springsteen.
My first time seeing him, it was really a good concert.
Even if you're not a Springsteen fan, like I would highly recommend seeing him because you just fucking cork.
There are certain things that you have to see in your life. The Rolling Stones,
the love of Christ.
Bruce Springsteen. Who are some other ones that you need to see? Bruce, the Rolling Stones.
I mean, I don't know. Everyone is so different with their music taste, but...
I know, but even if the taste is variety, but you need to see these people because they're such legends.
He puts on a hell of a show. I think that was my 6th time seeing him. I can't remember. I think it was 6. Could have been... I don't know. I lose track. It was a good show. But, so the show...
I have to tell you, I've never seen one before, Bruce. It was great. He was great, but it started off slow. I was kind of like, I don't know these songs.
He played some. Pardon me while I adjust my shorts and everything else is riding the fuck up over here. Christ, it's a hell of a scene over here. It's just a hell of a scene. Oh, and if we didn't give the warning, we swear. And so get your kids out of the room. And you're elderly.
A lot of swearing.
So it's hot out. So to preface this day, so this is Friday. So in the morning, I had my appointment with my trainer. So I've been cleared by my doctor to start back with my trainer. We've been taking it easy, going slow. figuring out what works, right? And so I have to work on core strength. That's what I have to work on because I have like none because of the whole back issue. So we did some core exercises. I didn't think it was anything. I feel like Mrs. Roper. I feel like I look like Mrs. Roper. I
You
feel
do
like
a little bit.
It's like Mrs. Roper and Liberace had a love child, and it's me. It's me.
You do look a little. This
me.
house dress looks like, not house dress, but
it's like a kimono. I love it.
But
this is my last one. I haven't worn it yet this summer, and I'm not wearing any more summer clothes.
No, it's definitely like
so
Mrs.
Anyway,
Roper.
I digress. Okay, so I did core exercises on Friday, which did not
never hurts while you're doing it.
It didn't hurt while I was doing it, but I didn't feel like I was overdoing it because like we're being careful, make sure like I don't hurt myself. So we have that. I'm also a little dehydrated because I don't want to have to pee at the concert, so I'm not drinking a whole lot because nothing chaps my ass more than being at a fucking concert. People having to get up and fucking walk in front of you, walk in front of you, walk in front. I'm gonna hurt myself with these fucking earrings.
We were on the end of the row,
we
so
were on the end of the row.
Bothered anybody.
Right, but I didn't know where our seats were. So we parked a mile from
really
from,
a mile.
From the
That's
venue.
not an exaggeration.
I looked it up in the morning when I couldn't get out of bed, and I went to the bathroom on myself in the bed, and like on the way to the bathroom because I could not walk, I couldn't move. I couldn't move Saturday, so I looked up to see how far it was. It was a mile. So then we walked a mile there in the heat, and so also like I don't normally like I don't drink at concerts. I haven't had a drink at a concert. I don't remember the last time I had a drink at a concert. I don't get high either. I don't do anything. I don't do the drugs. I don't do anything because one, I want to remember the show. Two, I don't want to be the asshole having to get up and walk in front of people,
like there's people
back
next
and forth,
to me.
like the fucking people next to you and all the people in front of us, and
God,
then the thousands
I almost
of people.
Punched that
right?
guy.
So I don't want to have to get up for drinks. I don't want to have to go to the bathroom. Blah blah blah. Also, I don't want to miss the show or like not remember it. Might have happened sometime. So. We don't drink. I don't drink at shows, and Joe doesn't usually either. Not to mention the cost of drinks at the concert is like exorbitant.
It's astronomical.
But, so now I've hoofed a mile. I have a blister on my fucking heel.
You didn't say we had to stop every
once. Well, I had to stop it once in a while because I had to like take a little break because like the walking still like I needed to work on my stamina. So now that I can walk again because I've been able to walk for like years really. So I can walk, but then like my legs get tired and I have like the stamina. So like. I don't go numb anymore, which is fantastic, yay! But I get fucking tired, so I'm hostile. I mean, I'm like fucking, like pushing on poles and shit, like leaning up against them,
stretching,
holding up on like I just like along trees, a gate, a fence, like whatever I could,
but
whatever I came across.
It was a very scenic 1 mile walk. I got to see the Swedish Museum.
Oh, we had a full fucking tour
I didn't
of
know
South
that
Philly.
Philadelphia. I mean, I knew they did, but I still don't know why they have a Swedish museum.
I'm drinking wine.
But and then I got to see the Eagles, the Nova Center where the Eagles practice. I mean, there was quite a lot I got to see.
There was a lot. But I was hostile.
Well, yeah.
Then by the time,
and I'm laughing.
And when we got there, so now I'm sweaty. I've got a blister on my fucking heel.
Because you didn't wear socks.
I didn't think to put socks on because I just never imagined in my wildest dreams I was going to be walking that fucking far.
Well, wait, you didn't tell everybody. The irony of all of this is that you have the handicap placard.
But yeah, I have a handicap placard, right? Because
of your back.
The numbness, the back, all the things. It's in my purse. I mean, I brought it with me. In my new ugly fucking clear stadium purse that I had to purchase on Amazon. I bought 3 so I could figure out which one was the best. The other 2 back, of course.
I kind of like mine. I don't like a clear purse, but I like mine.
I mean, everyone knows my business. Everyone knows what's in there. I mean, Christ. Look, I can't with the plastic. And it's plastic. It's clear plastic. It's like the ugliest fucking thing. Anyway. I'm hostile over the purse. I'm hostile over the heat. I'm hostile over the walk. I'm hostile over the fucking blister on my foot.
There were a lot of hostilities over the walk. So we
get there. So we sit down. I'm breathing in the guy next to me, his cigarette.
Wait, I don't even think Joe knew how hostile you were over the walk.
I'm sure he could tell by looking at my face how hostile I was. But see, I'm not going to say anything. I mean, I think I said I'm hostile. I don't know. I was grumpy. So we get into, is it Citizens Bank Park where the Phillies play? The baseball park, whatever. So we get in there. You know, and these fuckers are like, cold beer, get your cold beer. Well, fuck, I want a fucking cold beer because I just walked a fucking mile and I'm thirsty and I'm dehydrated and I want a cold beer.
Because that'll rehydrate you.
So I got a cold beer and then I was a little less hostile. And then the people kept moving around us. I can't with the fucking people. So we're like on the second level, first, second, third. I think there's altogether 3 levels.
We have
a wall behind us, which is lovely. The handicap section is behind us,
which is really a floor.
So it's just like a woman in a wheelchair and a lady with her, and so they were lovely. They were taking pictures for us, and like so we're just up against this like concrete wall, and then they were right above us. So there's no one behind us, which is great, right?
But then we have the sun because if you've ever been to the stadium, we're on like the third base side.
The sun's setting facing us.
The sun is setting facing us, so it's
in the west. We're facing the west. That's in the west. Yeah, it rises in the east. That's fucking thing about it. So we're facing the west, and it's blinding us, and it's 3,000 degrees. And I need a second beer because I drank the first one. Now I need a second one. So we had some drinks. It's amazing though too that I only peed one time during the entire concert.
That's because you were dehydrated.
And it was right. And really, I probably could have held it, but I
should have peed before we left.
I wanted another beer. So I
should have peed before we left because I paid for that later.
Well, you peed when we got to the ballpark. We both went to the bathroom. I passed you
before we left.
The stadium. Yeah. So wait, I went out.
How much were the beers? Let's talk about how much the 2 beers and the 2 pretzels were.
Well, Joe checked the credit card. Told me the total. I was like, what? So I thought, okay, well, I better eat something substantial because the beers were also like, it wasn't the pounder. It wasn't huge. It was a big can. It wasn't the normal cans. It wasn't the great big can. It was somewhere in the middle. And Joe comes out with this 9.5% beer. Fuck. Trogs, something, IPA. was delicious. So I was like, well, I guess get a soft pretzel or something to go with it just so that we can, absorb the alcohol because I don't want to be drunk and miss the show.
You could smell the dough on those soft pretzels. Like, it was like perfume.
It was crack cocaine in a cellophane bag is what that was.
They were hot. They were a twist. It was
amazing. It was a fucking pretzel twist. It was the softest, most decadent, most fantastic fucking soft pretzel.
It was not the typical Philadelphia hard soft pretzel
and
that you get.
Each one came, so they were like a foot long, right?
And it was 2 pieces that were braided.
They were braided together, and they were each in their own cellophane bag. Hot. Nice and fucking salty too. These fuckers were salty
and
hot. But surprisingly, they weren't perspiring inside the bag.
No.
Because I was like, I saw the heat. I'm like, oh fuck, it's gonna fucking perspire. To hurry up and eat this. It's gonna get wet inside the bag. It did not get wet inside the bag.
I don't know how they did it.
So she's chowing on one. Joe didn't get cheese sauce, but she has cheese sauce. So I'm holding my beer.
That's because I hadn't eaten dinner yet.
I'm holding my beer. I got my pretzels under my arm. I got the cellophane bag under my arm. I'm holding I'm dipping over here, eating the pretzel. So Joe comes back with 2 beers, one for he and I. 2 bottles of water, which I don't even think I ever drank. I think he drank it at the end. Did I drink it? I don't remember. I thought he drank it. And so 2 beers, 2 waters, 2 soft pretzels, and fucking $72. I about stroked out. But then look, after that first beer, I didn't really care how much they were because then whatever. So then we had a few more. But anyway, so the concert was great. So we're facing, so also my neck situation from the water slide from fucking 5 weeks ago. So I'm at the face this way, right? So it hurts me when I turn my head this way, which is good that you're over here today. So I'm facing this way, and it hurts me. And we're on a diagonal looking at the stage. And the 2 tallest motherfuckers in the world come and stand in front of Kelly
and
I.
With their very petite, one was a fiance and one was the wife.
The one was
they were shorter than me. They hadn't been
the cute
only 5
cute little
foot.
pregnant wife and the cute little fiance girlfriend of the other guy.
They looked miserable.
And they were miserable. They did not want to be at the Springsteen concert. They wanted to be. They're on their phones.
Instagram.
They're sitting down in front of us. They're sitting down like in front of us. But I wanted to be like, excuse me. I want to have. Excuse me. Could you have fucking swap maybe? Like you bitches sit in front of us.
Because you're not
let your fucking husband stand over here.
And you're sitting.
So then I'm sitting. So I'm sitting. I can only stand for so long.
Well, but you sat with the seat up.
We sat with the seat until it was digging into my poor bruised ass. So that it was only so much of that. Eventually, I had to just sit down in the seat. And then Joe's next to me. He's getting his groove on his Springsteen, and I'm trying to look through this little hole in his armpit. Right, he's got his arm up like a chicken wing, and I'm trying to look through it to see the stage while I'm sitting down because my view is completely obstructed by everyone standing. And I just thought, and this is why I fucking hate concerts. This is why I hate people, and this is why I hate concerts. And then the constant back and forth of all the people going out to get their beers, going out to pee, going out to get food, back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth, and back and fucking forth. I was like, oh my god.
And it was the same people. And it wasn't different people. It was the same people.
Just shook my fucking bun down.
The same 2 guys.
It was just, it was constant. And
I wanted to body check them right
It was so annoying. The couple next to us was super nice though.
Yeah.
Joe thought maybe he was a hockey player because he didn't have any front teeth.
He was smiling and he didn't have his front teeth.
And he was good looking, but he didn't have the.
No, he did not have the build of a hockey player.
He didn't have the build of a hockey player. He had the height of a hockey player, but he didn't have the build of a hockey player.
No, he was not a hockey player. I think some accident, riding your bike, something.
But
he had the piece in. I think he took the teeth out, like the bridge with the 2 front teeth.
Fascinating. I missed all that. She was all her USA stuff. Everyone had all their USA stuff because they're born in the USA, which he did not play. He didn't play that. No, he didn't play that. Anyway, so
It
it
was
was
a good concert,
it was
but
a
it
good
started
concert.
slow.
It was the first concert we've ever been together.
Yeah.
And it's the first concert you've been to, I think, since before you had children.
I don't know if that's true.
When did you see the Rolling Stones?
When I was 30. But I'll think about it. I mean, I've seen some things. But the point of this is that he played music in the beginning that I didn't know.
He played some newer stuff that you're not familiar with, which I'm familiar with because we have the Springsteen channel on the Sirius radio in the car. And then you play some shit from Nebraska, which also made me hostile because it's like the least. Look, if you're a Springsteen fan, I'm sorry if you like the Nebraska album. No one likes the fucking Nebraska album. I don't know the fucking Nebraska album. When he's playing, I'm like, what? Come on! Like, I'm here for fucking Rosalita, which he played.
This was his
Thunder
second
Road.
concert, his second night.
He played Wednesday. He played
Friday.
He played Friday. So he plays a different set each night. Which last time Joe and I went both nights so that we could get. Joe didn't want to miss a set. Wow, there we go. It's a hell of a thing. So,
and this was rescheduled from last August because he had that Pepsid ulcer or whatever, that Pepsid stomach.
The ulcer thing, yeah. So he canceled the tour. So this was a redo from last summer. So I mean, it was a great show, and we actually had really great weather. And then we had the mile walk back, and we finally got to the parking lot. I just fucking stood there. I'm like, fucking look, you're gonna have to get the car and come drive down here to this end of the parking lot. I'm
laughing so hard.
I'm done.
I'm laughing so hard. Somebody thought one of the workers for Citizens Bank actually park in the parking lot that we were in, and they get a school bus.
Yeah.
School bus takes them over to the stadium. At any rate, this nice little old man, you remember I was like bent over laughing, trying not to pee myself, and he's like, is she okay? I think he thought I was vomiting. And then he's like, here's a bathroom.
Yeah,
one of those Job Johnnies. No. Job Johnny's locked.
Yeah.
I said, oh, we tried. It's locked.
Well, I tried to coerce her just to go pee between two cars. She wouldn't do it, so she couldn't pee herself.
Well, because I don't want to get my pants, there's a wind.
You have to stand, look, I'm a professional.
I'm
you
a
just
professional.
stand uphill of it.
Okay.
You don't stand with one foot going downhill. You don't straddle it so one foot's downhill, one foot's uphill.
It doesn't matter.
Ask me how I learned that lesson.
It doesn't matter. I'm not doing it.
So she didn't do it. And then I'm like holding up somebody's car. I'm like literally I'm like laying on the hood.
On it. I was like, if the person comes,
someone's gonna fucking body check me when they come to their car, and here I am like.
And you're like, I'm not
half on the fucking hood.
I'm not scratching it. I'm not doing anything to it.
I had smooth jeans on. I wasn't doing anything to it, but I couldn't stand any longer. So then I go to get out of bed Saturday morning, and I couldn't fucking move. I mean, I couldn't fucking move. Like nothing worked. I was like, oh my god, I'm paralyzed. What the fuck happened? Like, what the fuck? And I hurt. Like my entire trunk hurt just to touch. So I was like, what? I got fucking beat up. Like, what happened?
That was from the gym.
It was from the gym, and I think just the walk and just using the core muscles for the long walk there and back. I mean, 2 miles in a day is a lot for me right now. So then I paid for that all fucking week. So I still have the pain in the left side. I canceled with Tom again tomorrow because I'm like, look, I don't want to make this worse. Like, I'm just gonna rest. So that's why I'm having wine tonight because I don't have the gym in the morning. So hey, but it was a good time.
It was a good time.
It was a
good time. Thank God it didn't rain.
I mean, we had beautiful weather, and it was nice and too because my clothes were nice and wet from the sweat. So then when the breeze came, it was really very nice. It was really very, very comforting.
No, it was a good concert, and he's great to see live.
He does a hell of a show.
Even though I didn't know the songs in the very beginning, he was still great.
He does such a good show. I mean, it's such a quality show. And if anyone also, if you're not a huge fan, like he's a fascinating individual, and his Broadway thing, which we wanted to go to see him on Broadway. Pardon me, I got a nose itch. Maybe I'm going to win the lottery tomorrow. Hopefully. Is that when your hand itches? When your nose itches, someone's talking about you? Look, I don't know. What was I talking about? Springsteen, right? He was up first. His Broadway show, we wanted to see him on the Broadway show. It's just him solo, like storytelling and singing on stage. And it was like $1,000 a piece or like $900 a piece. It was some crazy amount of money. And you had to put in for a lottery for it. And we didn't, because we were like, okay, well, let's put in for the lottery and then we'll discuss and see whether or not we go. Because it's one of those things, kind of like a once in a lifetime thing. I don't, if you're ever going to have another chance. And we have friends that went and they did enjoy it, but we didn't get picked in the lottery, so we didn't go.
How many, was he doing that for a year? Like, I can't believe it went to a lottery and he was there for a year doing that.
I don't remember. He was there a while. And maybe it changed. Maybe it was just the first little bit. I don't know. I don't remember. But it was good. And I mean, this was one of he's good outside. Like, it was good sound. Yeah. The worst concert of him that the first time I saw him was at Penn State. in the Bryce Jordan
Jordan
Center,
Center.
and the acoustics were fucking awful. And I was so excited to see him. I felt like how the girls were like when the Beatles would come out or like Elvis would come out and people would lose their fucking minds. You're looking at like
Screaming,
looking at you like,
crying,
what the
fainting.
fuck is wrong with you stupid girls? And then I'm at my first Springsteen concert and I'm a stupid fucking girl. I'm like, I can't. I still can't even believe I behaved that way. I wasn't as bad as like the Elvis girls, but still. So, and then I saw him. I remember if I saw him in Philly a second time, or if the second time was at Giant Stadium. I think it's a new Giant Stadium. I don't think it's the same Giant Stadium that I went to. It was like in 2001 or 2. I don't know. I went with my friend. And I remember that it fucking downpoured and there was thunder and lightning. And for whatever reason, we're on like metal bleacher stands, something or other. It didn't get cold. It poured down rain. I was so, remember I had a sausage sandwich. We were starving. We drove from Philly. We drove from Philly to New York, or took the train. I don't even remember. I think we drove like after work on a Friday then to get up there. Like the fuck. So we're starving. So I got a sausage sandwich from like one of the vendors walking around, and it's pouring down rain. I'm eating this fucking like wet bun. I don't fucking care. And I smoked at the time, and my smokes got wet. So then like we left the concert. We're soaking wet, and we go into some diner, somewhere between the stadium and our hotel. And they had the vending machines with the cigarettes, right? So I paid like fucking $10.50 for a fucking pack of smokes, and I was hostile then about that. And we were soaking wet, and this diner was like fully air conditioned. We were freezing cold. Yeah. And we put the heat on when we got back to that. We tried to. I don't remember. The heat probably didn't work.
Oh my God.
I remember being in the hotel room. We were frozen, like just fucking frozen because just having been soaking wet.
Bed.
Yeah, but the room was cold. Like, look. So it was a fun concert. Probably not my best. This one was good, but then this one, the hostilities. So yeah,
Hostilities were running high
all over me. So
my sock is coming off.
And just leave it.
I'm just so hostile about everything. I can't wait for Labor Day to be here. I can't wait for school to start. Selfishly, I can't wait to like get my routine back, and my son needs to get his routine back.
His ass needs to go back to school.
Yeah.
I mean, I said to Joe today, I'm like, I love him, and I love that he comes over here and he helps me, and does stuff, and I love that he loves to vacuum and take the recycling out and do all kinds of shit. But I need his ass to go back to school, like the phone ringing all day long, and like
yeah,
it's look, well, a lot of schools are back already. The South went back like fucking weeks ago.
Yeah, well, that's because they're out in May, the second week of May.
Right. Well, most districts around us right now have started back, but I think because we're in our area, so many people still go to the shore or have shore homes. So
I don't buy that anymore because here's the thing. If you play a sport or you're in band, if you play a fall sport or you're in band, you have to be back here for your practices. So, I mean, It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I have a lot of things to talk about.
Wait, I was just making sure we covered everything about the concert.
Because I'm hostile.
You're hostile. Fucking hostile.
But these are good. These are good.
Well, and so my Aunt Bonnie watches. Our Aunt Bonnie watches. Not just my Aunt Bonnie. Our Aunt Bonnie.
I'm stuck.
Do not knock into this. Do not knock into this. Down goes the fucking camera, the wine, everything.
Oh my God, I need to get my roots done.
You do.
I haven't even had time. It's going.
Mine are bad, but because my hair is greasy in his back, you can't tell. This is not a hair wash day. So
those are some fancy notes. Can you even read that?
I can. That I took an Uber last week. This girl with a job opportunity. Anyway,
right. For Uber, are you gonna Uber?
No, she works at Vanguard doing like stuff with people like Sean's age.
Yeah.
Like like getting ready for work, like work readiness program, whatever. So she gave me the information. She was lovely. We were like besties at the end of the Uber ride last weekend.
Oh, good.
But no, the other one. So I had it in my pocketbook, and Joe was like, "Isn't that a cute little notepad, right? You gave it to me, yes." Yeah. Hopefully, it wasn't a gift from somebody.
No, I gave it to you.
So, but I pulled it out to take notes at the brewery that we were out on Sunday because I had some fucking good one-liners. So I'll just do that, and I'll just segue over to you.
Wait, are they your one-liners, or you overheard the one-liners?
Mine. I had some good one-liners. So
I'm just looking at my glasses. Okay. They need to be fixed.
It could be distorted. Okay, so we get to this brewery. We went over. We crossed the river to the Jersey side. There's my Springsteen reference right there, in case nobody else got that. Springsteen fans will have. Anyway, it's lines from a song. Anyway, so we had a like a gift card or something to a brewery in New Jersey. So we go
It's
over.
going to expire.
We wanted to use it before we stopped drinking on Sunday for 2 weeks before we go 18 days before we go on vacation. So we're sitting there. The place was called Eighth and Sand was the name of the brewery. Their beer was okay.
Eighth and Sand?
Eighth and Sand. Maybe it was the intersection. It was on 8th Street and Sand Street. It was on 8th. I didn't inquire as to where the name came from. I don't know. So we're sitting there, and I'm looking at my phone, right? And I'm asking, the bartender is standing there. He's telling me what the password is. And the password is quick and safe, all one word. So I'm typing in, and I'm like, and he repeated it. He goes, quick and safe. I'm like, that's what he said.
Oh, my
and I'm
God.
So I'm looking down, looking at my phone, and Joe's next to me. The bartender, like, no, and no one reacts. And I'm fucking amused. So finally, I just look up. Like, I look at the both of them, like, is there no reaction here? And the bartender's, like, staring at me, like, wide-eyed. And then he busts out laughing. He's like, that was good. I was like, then Joe laughed.
Why were they so slow on it?
But I don't know. I think they were just surprised. I don't know. I mean, Joe's probably used to it. He's probably busy with his app.
why were they so slow?
I don't know, but I think he was just, when I looked up, he was, like, stunned. And I was like, I mean, it's not that clever. I mean, it was funny. It was not that clever. So we're there, and they have a Star Wars trivia, right? There was a lady dressed like Yoda. I was curious and not judgmental. I will say I was curious. I was not judgmental.
Like a real suit or one of those plastic Halloween things?
Yoda with like a long blonde wig. It was very fascinating.
Well, first of all, Yoda doesn't have
I went in and I was like, why is this fucking woman in costume, right? So I start off with that in my mind. And then Joe, I saw the trivia guy. I'm like, fucking trivia. And I'm like, oh, maybe we'll play trivia though. Maybe it'll be fun. And then Joe's like, it's Star Wars trivia. So no, we're not doing
Patrick
Star Wars trivia.
It.
He could have done it. So then it goes, that's why that woman's dressed like Yoda. So here I am, turn around, look at her. I'm like, oh, that's what that's supposed to be.
What about the rest of the people?
Okay.
Was she the only one?
No, it was a very alternative crowd, I would say. But she was the only one in costume that I remember. Like I think it was like a homemade one. Anyway, moving on. So we're listening to this, right? And the guy is on the microphone. He's getting everybody ready, whatever. And both there's a man and a woman who are both bartenders who are across from me. And the guy's on the loudspeaker, on the microphone, talking about like filling in the things, whatever. And so I forget. He was about to ask the first question. I'm like, well, I know the answer. I can just shout it out, right? Totally fucking joking. And you would have thought like I pulled a gun. Like the fucking bartender's like, oh no, you can't do that. You can't. I'm like, I'm fucking kidding.
People take it seriously.
I'm like, also, I guarantee to you that I'm not gonna be able to answer a single fucking question that is asked. I know Luke Skywalker, I know Princess Leia, and I know Darth Vader.
Wait,
and Yoda. I mean, that's like the extent of my.
People are serious about this. Now, was there a prize?
They had prizes. I've never gone to like Quizzo or Trivia Night or whatever. Even though
Did you
I thought
get like
about
a beer or like a soda?
No,
or something?
they got stickers from the sticker book, but people were thrilled to get the stickers. I don't know if there's anything else.
People love to win anything. I mean, I do. I'm thrilled with stickers at Trader Joe's.
People are loving their stickers.
I go to Trader Joe's and I get stickers. I'm excited.
Well, so then there's one other question. They were asking like, what did Boba Fett pass out to? Whatever was it? Hang on. What did he? Let me hang on. Did I write it down?
Considering the amount of time I've watched these with my
what
children,
substance? It was what substance did Obi-Wan give? What substance did Obi-Wan give to Jabba the Hutt? I don't fucking know. What substance did Obi-Wan give to somebody? Right.
Well, who was the somebody? That's important.
I don't remember. It doesn't matter. I have no idea. So I'm sitting there. I'm looking around. And we're like, I kind of make eye contact a little bit with the trivia guy, and I'm like, heroin. Was it heroin? So I'm like, I'm gonna piss these fucking Star Wars people off. So the guy with the mic, he laughed and he's like, it was not heroin, but that was a great answer. Thank you.
Someone is gonna
thank you
take their lightsaber out at you.
There was no lightsaber.
You had some zingers.
The DJ left. He liked that, right? He liked that, and so then.
And then that was it.
That was it.
How many questions did they ask?
Oh my god, it was like 5 rounds. I mean, like it was. These people are fucking diehard. I mean, and there was like they were talking about shit like I mean, like
the
literally
minutia, the minutia,
yeah,
the details.
Like, and he said for some of these you will have had to have watched these with the subtitles on because it was like sounds.
That's
like, and I had one right. Was it a chirp? Was it a warble? Was it a something? I leaned the joke. I don't know, but I'm going with fucking Warble. I'm going with Warble. And I was fucking right. And the only way that you knew that
it's a funny word.
was if you had watched it with the subtitles on, because it said Warble, like for the noise. I guess one of the characters was making. Yeah, I mean.
So Patrick is 23 now. So back when he was 2 and 3, he was first introduced to Star Wars. And so we're a Star Wars loving family, and he must have been like 4 different characters repeatedly over Halloweens. So he used to watch them all the time. Thank God they weren't VHS, because it would have worn the tapes out, but like the DVDs and Blu-ray and whatever. So watch those. Then he'd watch them in subtitles, with the subtitles on. Then he watched them in Spanish and in French.
I decided that when I watch television, I just have to have subtitles. The older I get,
so, do you
even when it's not BritBox, I feel like I still need to have the fucking subtitles.
Dad, I come down the stairs, and Patrick is now 4. I come down the stairs, and I see Star Wars, but on the screen, but it doesn't sound like Star Wars. It's in freaking Spanish. Now my son doesn't know Spanish, but I'm like, what are you doing? And Dad is sitting there like the great granddad,
just fucking watching it,
patiently just watching as Patrick is watching it as though he's never seen it before.
What's fascinating? Well, he watched. What was that one with the fucking bear? Deborah Messing, the Disney
was that
movie.
Him or Sean? I always want to say Outback, but it's not
the
Outback.
The Disney movie with the bear, and Deborah Messing played the whatever.
It's not Outback, but it's
I know it.
Out There. It's
he used to watch it in fucking French.
Patrick did?
Yeah, he put it on French. I was sitting there watching when it was in fucking French. I'm like, okay.
And Eddie Murphy's the donkey or horse or something in that. What is it? It's not
Open Season.
Open Season. I know it starts with an O, and I
which I made Joe watch because I mean it's fucking fun. It's a good Disney movie. It's one of my favorites. I probably could have seen it 3,000 times.
We love the Scottish red squirrel.
He's not red. He's gray.
No, he's red. He's got the tufts on the ears. He is red. That's why
the Scottish squirrel in Open Season
is done by Mike Myers,
and he's like, and with his Scottish accent, which I can't do. But is he not going to maul her? Because the bear, I'm not going to maul the lady. And Sarah Henry, oh my God, by the way, thank you for verifying that you live in fucking Scotland. And I had to say that, Joe, I'm like, back to like Ted Lasso. I was like, okay, so the UK is comprised of England, Scotland, Wales. There's a fourth, right? Isn't there a fourth? England, Scotland, Wales.
I think that's it, and they're called the United Kingdom.
The UK, right? Okay, so look, when I say England, I mean like,
it does not include Ireland.
All of it. I know it does not include Ireland. Obviously.
Well, you never know.
All of it, yes. So she lives. So Sarah, I don't know when, but we're coming to fucking. We're coming to Scotland.
If there's a fourth country that's tied in with the UK, can you let
someone
us
to let us know, right? I know it's. Oh wait! And speaking of Ted Lasso, oh my God! OMG! For all of you fuckers out there who have not heard this yet, now I have the finger. So 3 of the stars, Hannah Waddingham, the guy who plays Higgins, and I think the guy who plays Roy Kent, I think was the other one. I forget. I think it was those 3 have signed contracts for a season 4 of Ted Lasso.
They're in talks with Sudeikis.
So
isn't he going to have to do it? He was the writer for
I mean, we probably have to call it something. Look, okay, so Joe and I have been talking about this for like 2 days now, right? So any kind of spinoff will be excellent, just because the other, like all the episodes where like Ted wasn't even a main character in those episodes were excellent as standalone episodes. So any kind of season, even without him, would still be fucking excellent. And like look how like, since they reference Cheers a lot, because he's the nephew of the guy who plays Norm or Cliff. Norm, I think. Jason Sudeikis is the nephew of Norm or Cliff, whatever, Norm. So there are a lot of Cheers references that Joe had to point out to me all throughout the show, because I am 3 years younger than him, and I also worked on some school nights, and so I did not watch a lot of Cheers.
I didn't really watch a lot of Cheers.
I like Cheers. I mean, I've watched it and I like it, and I when he puts the reruns on, I'd rather watch that than Seinfeld any fucking day.
Oh, I love Seinfeld.
But,
what the fuck's wrong with you?
So the thing with Cheers, like Frasier. Look, Frasier was a spinoff. They took but it was on for years. I mean, it did well.
Right.
So looking at that, like no matter what, like whatever season 4 will look like, as long as they have the writing down and they're good with it, like they really can't fuck it up.
Right.
I say that, but also in the back of my mind, I think of the last season of Dexter that they brought back because everybody was fucking wild and wanted another season of Dexter. And although I wanted to see what happened, then I was also pissed off all at the same time. You know.
Well, I don't think it'll be bad.
Know.
I don't think it'll be bad.
We're excited because I mean, never has there been a show because normally I'm the one that like when a couple of seasons into a series, I'm like, okay, this needs to wrap up. Like in Weeds, like she would have been fucking dead by now. Fucking kill her and be done. Like all of them. Like it gets old. Like the writing gets old or tired or whatever.
Well, that's why they wanted to stop
and that's why
Ted Lasso.
and the story was told and they did an excellent job. That being said, any other show, I'm like, fucking end this. Like, just let's be done. This show, when I realized it was the third final season, when I realized it was the final episode of the third season, and there wasn't going to be more, I was like, I was so upset. I think I even cried. I fucking cried. I often cried watching that show. It would make you laugh. Those of you that she's never watched it, those of you who've watched it, there are many episodes where you will laugh and cry in the same episode, maybe even like simultaneously, like you're schizophrenic. I don't know, like bipolar. I don't know. Look.
Okay,
Anyway,
so we
wow.
No, be
That's
quiet.
some fucking
be quiet.
notes.
Well, if you wrote down everything you said, it would look like this too.
Drink my
so
wine.
we're gonna segue here to some news, like actual news. Saw it, read it, in
Can I
CNN.
interrupt you for 1 second? Speaking of CNN, because I started earlier with Aunt Bonnie with the CNN thing, and then I got distracted. But Aunt Bonnie was the one that told me about the Anderson Cooper thing on CNN, which I forgot to tell you, but you recorded anyway.
Yeah,
and we're gonna talk about that. Anyway,
okay.
Carry on.
So you think you have some hostilities? Imagine being this guy that I'm going to tell you about. Not only does he have some hostilities, you know how like at work, maybe you were the person that not everybody liked, or maybe there was a person in the office that not everybody got along with, and like maybe at the water cooler, you're like, did you get a load of Jack this morning or whatever? You know, there's always that.
There's always some
person.
asshole no one likes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So you think you have it bad at work? And then when you have to do those team building exercises, it makes everybody cringe. Wait, just wait. You're gonna think that you've walked in a bed of roses compared to this. So, so there was a 46-year-old insurance underwriter for Beasley Global International firm. Oh no, insurance firm. Oh. I wanted to say what that was. So it's
like the Beasley Media that runs the radio.
A 46-year-old man who is an insurance underwriter for Beasley Global Insurance Firm, okay, was rescued in central Colorado after allegedly being left behind on his hike, okay, by his coworkers. He was left behind by his coworkers, okay? So just follow along.
Hoping he would get mauled by a bear.
No. So this gentleman was left behind by his coworkers hiking to raise money for the World Central Kitchen. So this company, Beasley Global Insurance, this is like, I think their second or third year in doing this fundraiser for the World Central Kitchen, okay? And they did this hike last year, the media found out, and they did it again this year. So this 46-year-old insurance underwriter spent the night stuck on Mount Chavano. I think I'm saying that right.
Did it get cold?
Oh, wait. He spent the night on Mount Chavano.
It's cold.
At 14,230 feet.
It's cold.
Elevation during a freezing rainstorm.
Oh.
During a freezing rainstorm. Okay. So, and then I'm going to give you the quote that the sheriff that rescued him said. So we have this 46.
He needs some new friends.
We have this 46. We have this 46-year-old who didn't make it back down the mountain, had reached the summit, but didn't make it back down. His coworkers left him. Okay, but we don't know anymore. The news has not said whether he had passed out up there or got lost on the way up and they couldn't find him.
I could have been like, look here, friend.
Like, no, wait. So 46-year-old gentleman is not making his descent down because he gets lost or whatever and has to spend the night in freezing rain.
You don't have to repeat it over and over again. Yes.
So the Chaffee County Search and Rescue said
it doesn't matter.
Sheriff. Don't interrupt me, because then I have to start all over again.
You're not starting all over again.
In what might cause some awkward encounters in the office in the coming days and weeks.
You don't say.
One member of their party was left to complete his final summit push alone. So that's a pretty good quote. So,
wow.
And he's right, that's kind of awkward. Can you imagine going in Monday?
No one noticed?
Saying, hey, you fucktards, you left me. I mean, so...
and this, that fucked hard today.
I know. This was the guy's second time hiking. So they made sure that for you to know, the 46-year-old was not the first time he'd done this. Okay, so making matters worse. So you have the sheriff saying, it's going to be uncomfortable at work for the next couple of weeks, probably. I might just find a new job. But so making matters worse.
This is how people go postal. This is the kind of shit that drives people into the workplace.
Wait. Gets better. Okay. There was some deliberate thought here. Okay. So, making matters worse, his colleagues had inexplicably collected belongings left in a boulder field to mark the path down. So, the workers, when they came down from the summit, gathered up all the markers that they had in a field of boulders, i.e. rocks, and took them with them. So the field was no longer marked. The path wasn't marked any longer. Because
maybe they just didn't realize he wasn't with them and they were taking their stuff with them like they were supposed to.
No. So there's that.
Try not to leave a footprint?
No. So on the way down, it's daylight. They take the path markers out.
Trying to give them the benefit of the doubt here.
When co-workers didn't hear from him, they called him missing at 9 p.m. 8.5 hours after he started his descent.
We all know someone like to live on top of a fucking mountain.
They waited 8.5 hours to call.
Wow.
Search and rescue.
Are they in trouble?
Well, it doesn't say.
I mean, there's no. I mean, how do you prove
this was
that
on
they
CNN
that they
News.
Purposefully left him?
Well, I mean, obviously, there's an ongoing investigation. This just happened, but it sounds like his co-workers didn't really like him. No, they had to have realized it, and they gathered up all the stuff, and then they wait.
There's no head count.
You're in a group. You're in a group, and you wait 8.5 hours.
Let this be a lesson to you people. If maybe you shouldn't go camping with coworkers.
8.5 hours to call and say that you're missing one of your party members. Fuck that shit.
Oh, fuck that. Oh, God.
I mean, and then he spent the night in the freezing rain. And then
he didn't even have a grizzly bear carcass to crawl into.
No, and then
you saw in what was that movie with DiCaprio when he crawled inside the.
What was that?
I don't know. He spent the night in the grizzly bear carcass to keep warm. Though.
It's supposed to be a true story, and I don't know if I believe it all. The Reverend? No. What is it? The Reverends? No. What is it?
It might have been that one. Yeah.
So anyhow, that kind of sucks if you're that guy, and I would be looking for a new job. Because I would think that they don't really like me. But he came down. But search and rescue had to get him. He was put on one of those things and airlifted out.
I can't believe they waited till morning to
That's
call.
what I'm saying. No, they started in the morning and
this guy must be either he's a real fucking doucher.
Wait, so they started
they're all a bunch of fucking douchers.
They started the descent down in the morning. By 9 p.m., 8.5 hours later, his colleagues finally decide to call search and rescue, okay? And
they're lucky they didn't find his face like this in the morning.
Search and rescue couldn't really do much at night. I mean, I think that they started, but it wasn't until the next morning that they found him after he had spent the evening in the pouring down ice rain, whatever it is. Okay, so not only that, there are a lot of hostile people in here. So then there was a couple in Danbury, Connecticut. So it's a nice town in Danbury, Connecticut. Couple driving their Lamborghini were kidnapped and beaten while house hunting. They were house hunting in Danbury, Connecticut.
Why were they kidnapped? Mafia.
Doesn't say. 6 men intentionally rear-ended the couple's Lamborghini before getting them...
Was it to hijack the Lamborghini?
Well, I think, because that's what they did. So 6 men intentionally rammed the Lamborghini in a van, forcing the husband and wife into the back of the van. The men beat the couple with a baseball bat,
oh my God,
duct taped their hands and feet, and covered the male's eyes. Okay? Some members of the group then drove off in the Lamborghini. So you had the 5 guys. Some stayed with the couple in the van. And
I have too many questions about this.
Wait. So then a witness saw this, and he alerted police, and the police followed the van until it lost control and crashed. And then the police...
Wait, I thought they were in the Lamborghini.
No. Pay attention. I said this already.
Sorry.
Some of the men stayed with the van.
I see.
Some of them took... 2 of them got in. There were 5 of them. 2 of them took the Lamborghini on a joyride or something. Okay. I don't know the rest of the story other than the van crashed, the police got them out, and the couple were freed. Okay? Here's a good one.
Hang on. I'm trying to see if Joe's out. We might go open the door.
Here's a good one. Just when you think, for those of you that have really young kids, or can remember the days that, my oldest in Bloomingdale's took a Christopher something glass Christmas ornament. Christopher, it's a very expensive glass ornament. The guy's name is Christopher something. Can't remember. Broke it. like was looking at it nicely, but pulled it off the tree at Bloomingdale's and then accidentally like let go of it. This was Patrick. And they couldn't have been nicer. We like offered to pay for it. I think it was like a $90 Christmas ornament.
And they were hanging on the tree. What do you expect? I mean, I could have done that.
They were like, no worries. It's no problem. They were very gracious. So just when you think that you've had embarrassing moments with kids, or your kid has like a temper tantrum, and
you've had 1,000 embarrassing moments with kids.
I have, but you know,
someday we'll go through those.
You see somebody with like a 2-year-old flipped out on the floor in Target. I mean, it's not funny, but it kind of is, especially for the moms that have been there, done that. I mean, we feel that mother's pain.
I mean, you were in line at CVS while Sean threw light bulbs on the ground and smashed them, and turned around to the person behind him and said, "You look disheveled."
Yeah.
Which
well,
Kelly
did look disheveled.
So Kelly called to tell me this, horrified, to which my reply was, "Well, did they look disheveled?" She said, "Well, yeah, that's not the point." I thought it was, he was like 6. I mean, I thought it was excellent use of the word disheveled.
Yeah, she was disheveled. Fantastic. It looked like she hadn't showered in a long time either. So just when you think you've had it bad with your kid, there's a 4-year-old boy in Israel who accidentally smashed a jar from the Bronze Age.
Why does he have this jar?
Wait, the jar was on display at a museum at the University of Haida, Haita.
Oh
the
God.
Jar dates back to between 2,200 to 1,500 BC.
Okay, two things here.
Making it at least 3,500 years old.
One, it should have been behind glass.
Wait,
and two, don't take your kids to the museum with the valuables.
It's going to get even better. So it's extremely rare. This 3,500-year-old vase is extremely rare because it's in one piece instead of several pieces.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah. It was fully intact until last Friday. I mean,
like, Jesus didn't drink out of it or something, did he?
I don't think so.
Put flowers in it?
I don't think so.
Is it like...
Anyhow, I thought it was funny that the newscaster was like, fully intact until last Friday.
Well, yeah.
So the boy's father told the media the jar fell to the ground after his son pulled on the jar lightly to see what was inside. Okay? See what was inside. The museum's director was very nice. He told the media that he understands it was an accident. And
the family's responsible for paying for it.
No, and that the conservation specialists are working on putting the jar back together.
Pardon me, like, rub my eye here.
I mean, first of all, why wasn't it behind?
Right, okay.
And this is not Target or Walmart or the grocery store where you can kind of let your kid go. I understand kids are curious. That is one place that I was like flies on shit with my kids.
We would never, Mom and Dad would have taken us something like that for.
No, my kids. Even at the Police Touch Museum, I was like, get over here.
But it's like, it's nothing valuable. It's like.
From the Bronze Age. This is 3,500
Why is it? It should
old.
not be out to be touched, for Christ's sake.
It didn't say where it was, but it obviously was not behind glass because it would have said that. It was in reach of this
Do you remember the tour to Gettysburg when we were little?
Oh, God, I hated that tour.
So this is what I remember. I remember
a bus ride.
I remember being on the bus and running down the aisle and fiddling with all the volume things.
Oh, yeah.
Right? All the headphones, the people, like, just playing with all of them. And I remember the change purse. Tracy and I each got a change purse.
I remember that.
From the gift shop. It was a monkey. Has nothing to do with fucking Gettysburg at all.
I know.
A little plastic monkey face. And when you squeezed it, I'm like, hee, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho. Like, we look fucking monkey noises. Look. Mom and Dad were like, after that with me, they were like, this is the last, like, historic fucking family day that we have. They didn't take me anywhere again until I was like 12.
Wait, there was something else. Somebody else behaved badly. Something else happened
Tracy.
on that trip.
I was out of control.
I think you guys were climbing on monuments that you weren't supposed to be climbing on. No. I think that
I've never been back to Gettysburg either. I've driven through Gettysburg. I've never been back to Gettysburg.
It was boring. And why you would take like a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old?
It was like a nice day trip for Mom and Dad to take us. Dad likes the history. You were old enough. Tracy might have been semi-old enough.
I hated it.
I was clearly not old. Clearly not old enough. But at least I didn't destroy anything.
I want to see
maybe someone's hearing when they turn the fucking headphones on at full volume. I mean, hey. I just went around playing with all the knobs. I was playing with all the knobs.
But you turned them up. I remember Mom kind of was on the receiving end of that loud volume. She put those things in and it was loud. I think because you were sitting with her and you turned it up. I vaguely remember that. Okay.
I just remember I wasn't allowed to go anywhere after that.
Another newsworthy item. Do you know that it's been 19 years? It was 19 years ago today that Hurricane Katrina slapped New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
19 years.
I was camping that weekend. It was the last
I was in Mexico.
One of the last times I went camping.
I was in Mexico, and that water, I kid you not, was 90 degrees because we were in the Gulf, and that's where all the water and the heat and all that stuff came and made the hurricane stronger.
That was the year, our first time, my first and only time I ever stayed in the yurt. It was a good time. Till the park ranger came.
Did they have a bathroom in the yurt?
No, we still had to go use the yeah. But the park ranger paid us a visit, and we were hiding our booze quickly. It was a bit of a fiasco
Were you at a
of an
state
evening.
Park?
A Bald Eagle State Park, yes.
Oh, yeah,
You're not allowed alcohol. Right. We always had alcohol. We were just under control with it. But we were a bunch of friends of us, or a big group of us. We went several years in a row camping Labor Day weekend. We went there. And then that year we got a yurt, and our friends' two brothers came along, and then a fight broke out. The table we're all sitting around playing cards and having drinks, having a lovely evening, and then a fight with the brothers or whatever broke out, and the table got flipped. So there was some noise, a bit of a ruckus, and then we knew that we knew someone was calling the park ranger. We knew that someone was coming.
Well, nobody had cell phones.
So Kelly was like, it was 2000 and
oh, okay.
What the fuck year? 2024 minus 19.
Oh yeah.
Was that 2000? What? I can't.
2005.
Anyway, 5? Yeah, okay. So, right. So we had a keg, which we very quickly, two of us, grabbed a hold of and hauled it out the yurt around the corner, like out the back of it, and hid it in the bushes. Took all the bottles that we had and hid them in our duffel bags, like under clothes.
Oh.
And then
were they opened?
Yes, we fucking hid everything.
So it
And
smells.
then we dumped all of our, or chugged, whatever, all of our red Solo cups or whatever we're drinking, and had just like soda, like plain like Pepsi or Sprite or whatever in our cups. So the park ranger came, and we're trying to all act sober. And we had been, our friend's parents had box seats at the Penn State game. So we'd been at the Penn State game at the box seats, left there, went to Bald Eagle State Park, we're drinking and camping all day. And then we're all sitting around like, hi, like just like fucking like trying to be sober, and just, like with our Solo cups, like, and here's me like, don't say anything. And I'm like, it's just soda. Do you want to have a smell?
Oh,
because it's just whatever. It's just soda.
Oh my God.
I mean, and he's like, is there any drinking going on here? We're like, no, officer. And he's like, are you sure? We're like,
well, I'm sure he could smell
it. We were at the Penn State game earlier. We had some drinks earlier. He's like, okay. He's like, we got to complain about some noise. Like, well, there was a little fight broke out between the brothers, but the two of them went for a walk, and one of them might have gone home. I don't know. Everything's fine. We uprighted the table at that point and cleaned up all the shit off the floor. And anyway, that's what I remember from that weekend. Yes. Anyway,
fun times in a yurt, nonetheless. No air conditioning.
Excuse me.
So 19 years ago, Hurricane Katrina, and then I saw this is some good FYI. They say the prime time to get your flu shot. I'm not talking about COVID shots.
Now?
No, I'm talking about the flu shot. Is in October. They've done numerous studies. Meanwhile, how did I know I was even smart in following this? Because I always get mine in October. But they say because of how the flu vaccine is made, they try to, figure out what strands are going to be out, and the time that people start to be indoors more, therefore you're spreading it easier. That the optimal time to get your flu shot, people, is in October.
There you have it.
In October.
There you have
Not
it.
before, because
does it matter where you live,
out.
though?
No, they said October.
Oh, okay. Anywhere.
Yeah.
Texas, California, Pennsylvania,
They just said
Washington.
the optimal time to get it is October. Didn't classify states or regions of the country.
All right.
It has to do with when the vaccine is, most people are inside. You're going to drink that whole bottle. And
Not right this minute. There's plenty left in there.
And so just that. Because if you get it too early, then it wears off by the time, like, January, where you're stuck inside because the weather's so bad or whatever. And then if you get it too late, you've already been exposed to it. So they say October.
We just went to BJ's last night to pick up order, and we got about a whole new pack of Airborne, because it's like the best price there, plus I had a coupon. And so, because we're going on vacation in 18 days.
Oh, yeah.
19, well, okay, 2.5 weeks, whatever. On the 18th we go. So, we're gonna be outside a lot, but it's still like I don't want to be like, I always get sick in the fall. Like I'm like, so I'm like, I have to like start with the vitamins, and I have all my vaccines. I get the flu vaccine too. Like all my shit, I have all my shit. But like last October, so 2 Octobers ago, I missed my friend's Halloween party because I had a fever of like 102 or some crazy. I didn't feel well all day. I just thought I was tired. And then like I felt like total shit was getting ready to go to the party, and like, let me just take my temperature. It's like 102. It was crazy. So we didn't go. And I didn't have COVID, but I was just sick. And then last fall was when we got the COVID, which we talked about last week from Mom and Dad on the way back from Iceland. I missed my friend's birthday, and I missed my friend's wedding, and I missed all the things because even though I have all of my vaccines, I get the COVID. Joe does not get it like I get. He's only had it of the 3, 4. I've had it at least 3 times. And the 3 times I've had it, he's only had it one of those 3 times. And he hasn't slept in the other bedroom. I mean, it's just, he's around me.
Some people I think are more susceptible to it or get it worse.
I don't know if it's because I have asthma.
Well, they say that if you have asthma, because it's a respiratory...
I wonder if it was because of my back being so bad. Maybe I was just like so worn down.
Probably.
Maybe that was it. Now I got the back. Now I got the new back. Now I got the titanium and the new discs from the cadaver. Let's see what happens this fall, bitches. Let's see what happens. Maybe this year I'm gonna be good to go. These earrings are gonna rip my fucking earlobes right out.
I gave you those earrings.
You did, and you gave me the necklace, the matching necklace. I did dig for the necklace. Oh, look at that. It's a lot. I feel like it should be like one or the other. Like I feel like.
Well, it's a whole set. I mean,
I know, but I feel like it's like a really big earring with a really big necklace, and it's like when you do a bright lip, you don't do a heavy eye. If you do a heavy eye, you do a subtle lip. I feel like the same thing with the earrings. Like it can't be like, although in this picture you can't really see me unless I.
No, it looks fine.
Sit back like that.
It looks fine.
Okay.
So there was something else that I wanted to tell you about.
The CNN special with the animals.
We're getting to that. Did you know that there was $5 million worth of meth that was disguised as watermelons coming across the Mexico border?
Right, I saw this.
In California.
That was wild. Brilliant. That was brilliant.
They used paper.
Until they got caught.
They used paper. What does it say? They used paper and attempted to disguise them as watermelons. So when you look at it, it's like watermelon looking, like wrapping paper or something.
Oh.
And they made balls, like round.
They made balls. Hand me that.
So it is. They
made balls.
They got 1,220 packages of meth that were wrapped individually in paper watermelons. But the police were also tipped off. This guy driving was in like a commercial tractor trailer and all of this. So, but they
like
were.
What you see on the TV shows.
They were tipped off. So, but to Aunt Bonnie, who recommended
the CNN.
This.
So Saturday she recommended the CNN show with Anderson Cooper.
It's a series by Anderson Cooper.
It's a whole series?
Yeah, they call it The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper.
But no, this one just specifically was the...
Right. So this was called... The series is called The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper on CNN. This CNN episode that we're talking about under The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper is called Close Encounters, Tourists in the Wild.
The brilliant part...
It's an hour. It's with commercials.
I forgot about
it. It's so good.
I was supposed to tell you, because, we talk about, animal antics and the maulings and all the things in the parks.
So I'm not the only one that's thrilled about it.
No, because obviously CNN made a whole show about it, so you were not the only one.
Yeah.
Right.
So don't tell me that people don't want to hear about animals.
It was just too much.
And the maulings.
The feedback I got was just too much. Anyway, we like the maulings. I mean, here I am. So I forgot about it. I meant to record it. You recorded it. So we watched it at your place, whatever the fuck it was, yesterday. The day before. And I was like...
Other maulings.
Right, other maulings. Like, the woman's gonna pet the fucking grizzly bear cub. Is the mama gonna come rip her arm off? Like, I was like, look.
Stupid people.
Is this asshole gonna get boiled alive? I mean, I was prepared.
People touching the geysers, like going into the water.
I was fully prepared to see, like, what would happen to the idiotic things that people were doing.
And it was
They
recently
don't show
made.
that. They don't show that.
It was recently made because they referenced this. So I know that it was made in at least June. Maybe it's been made in July or August, but it had to have been made in June because A, there was some snow on the ground, and B, they interviewed the guy that was hiking with his wife, who was the
army. We talked about the army guy who had survived,
and they interviewed him and whatnot because he had survived. He was really doing nothing wrong. I mean, he was hiking, but came across a cub. And we discussed this in an earlier
episode, and that reminds me, for the new people, this is episode 41. I encourage you, go back and when you have spare time, fucking watch from the beginning because we circle back to a lot of shit.
But we don't give like a table of contents or like a description of like what all the episodes are about. So you just kind of have to like.
I would just say, just go back and start at the beginning. My neck.
But anyhow, it's obviously there's this fascination. The CNN reporter is not Anderson Cooper, he produces it, but it was this other guy who's great. Talks about people's fascination and wanting to admire wildlife. But thinking that it's a zoo.
I feel like a lot of the people, though, are coming here from foreign countries and they don't understand.
Well, there's that, but
For example, if I'm in China and I see a cute little fucking panda bear or koala
I was gonna
or
say
whatever.
That's in Australia.
Koala's in Australia.
But I don't.
But pandas, I actually looked it up to see if pandas will maul you.
Will they?
It says that you should stay away from them because, like any other wild animal, you should not approach them, even though they're cute and cuddly and they're playful. But grizzly bears look fucking playful too when they're out there.
Grizzly bears are a little bit more
in California on someone's porch playing in the swim pool.
I mean,
like the one we're looking at. There's this house in California. They keep going and playing in the pool every day.
And keep popping the blow-ups.
They keep buying new fucking blow-ups for the fucking grizzly bears to swim on. The fuck.
One of these days they're going to be out there in the pool and the grizzly bear's going to
they're going to decide, bitches, we want the pool today. I'm going to maul your ass, and now I'm going to use the pool.
But let's get back to panda bears. First of all, panda bears are vegetarians. Grizzly bears are omnivores, but they only eat eucalyptus, or for the most part, that's what.
But they still have sharp claws and sharp teeth.
And if it's a wild animal,
they still have the bicuspids. Is that they still have sharp bicuspids?
They will get aggressive. I get it, but they're still a little more docile than a grizzly. And they showed the 4 to 6 inch nails.
Well, I was looking at them last night. I was like, well, they're not even like they're not pointed at the end. They're long, but they're not sharp at the end. But they must just use such force that. They didn't look sharp. They looked like they were like shaved off they were like squared off. They had a square nail. They had a square nail.
Okay, well, it'll rip you to shreds because you saw that guy that ripped to shreds.
It was a fascinating show.
You should watch it. It's not just about bears. It
was about all the different
all the things at Yellowstone.
It was Yellowstone specific.
Because Yellowstone, out of all the other parks,
getting fucking with the bison, speared by the bison.
Oh yeah, they interviewed.
Well, no, the one lady was in Texas. It was Texas bison,
and they referred to the bison as
Texas bison or Texan bison. They were a different color. They were smaller in stature.
Yeah, the ones in Yellowstone are actually
they were smaller.
The ones in Yellowstone,
like prehistoric,
are not prehistoric really, but they are actually.
I mean, they look like, what are those things? They look like woolly mammoths, but like downsized.
They have the DNA at Yellowstone. It's the only place. Specifically in the United States, I don't know about the world, but definitely in the United States, where there's not been any inbreeding, any outside breeding with cows or anything else that could possibly
The Texas ones were smaller and looked a little bit different. The coloring was a little bit different, and the horns or whatever you call them, a little bit smaller. But that lady,
they'll still get you.
And she was crying. She was emotional about it. She was, and not because she was hurt, but because she didn't want to...
Her idiocy to cause people to not be able to go hiking.
She was afraid people would not be able to experience... Look, I don't hike.
First of all, you can see her video because she taped it. Not her getting... I mean, it does show the phone going out. But
he turned right around and kind of grunted at her a little bit. And even Joe was like, oh, he's not happy. And then he fucking charged her.
So here's the thing.
Ripped her skin apart.
I know that she was walking. She was not... The minimum you're to be away is 25 yards.
I don't know what 25 yards looks like, for fuck's sake.
She was like a couple feet. And then she's talking to it, obviously, not understanding, but she was trying to make some noise.
Well, I think she was out hiking and came upon them.
By
and
herself.
Was like,
but you don't keep walking. My point is that she's videoing this, and she
I'm just going to get by you. She's like, I just want to get by you.
I would have stopped and walked backwards.
Bitch, he didn't want you to get just by him, right? And she just was trying to skirt around him. Let me just skirt around you. Yeah, and then he fucking hooked her
and then
threw her into a bush. And I might have not laughed.
You'll have to watch the CNN show.
It's highly entertaining on many levels.
They did not talk about Taurons of Yellowstone.
Which a lot of those, though, you saw. So the Taurons of Yellowstone, which you follow.
It's an Instagram account. Everybody should follow it.
So it's morons of Yellowstone.
But not just Yellowstone.
They're tourists who are morons. And they're called Taurons or whatever. And so a lot of the video clips that they kept showing last night were from the Taurons because you then send me said clips from Taurons.
Again, I go back to in any national park, if you do something that is wrong or against the rules and you get hurt, to add insult to that injury, pun intended, you get a fine
Seriously.
on top of it.
But only if you've been injured doing something you're not supposed to.
Right.
I mean, people like if you're on like the pathway or whatever, like the boardwalks or whatever, like in the
if you're on the boardwalk and the thing gets you, the buffalo, like, you know, I mean, I don't know technically how you would get fined. I mean, I'm sure somebody from Yellowstone could tell us. But if you're on the designated pathway, it is just an unfortunate situation that you've been in, that the buffalo is coming across your path and you are literally walking and on the path where you're supposed to be. I mean, they could be like running along and just
our uncle, who I'm not going to name out loud. Were you there for the story where he was visiting Yellowstone?
Oh yeah, he went snowmobile riding.
And took a snowmobile like through the park and had like a herd of buffalo. Not buffalo, the bison.
Yeah.
Like, was he chasing the bison? The bison was chasing him.
He was chasing the bison.
And
one of the park rangers
got pulled over by the park ranger
on the snowmobile. Hey, he works for the government and he's retired, so it doesn't matter. We're not naming him.
He was not retired at the time.
No, at the time.
No, but I mean, telling us the story, I'm like, why? And Joe's like, what kind of family do you have? We like to bend the law. We like to just bend the law.
He was there in the winter, which is fun.
It was just fun. He's there snowmobiling, and like, I mean, he lives in the South, so he doesn't get to play in the snow a lot, South. Right? So, yeah.
Speaking of, now this is something else that happens with Wildlife Anywhere. So did you see those people? These were black bears, so not as aggressive. But these people reached over like a chain link fence. This was not at Yellowstone. This was someplace else.
They had this in the video.
Yeah, but these people leaned over the fence. 2 black bear cubs climbing a tree. Yeah, they're cute. But one leaned over and actually grabbed it and was holding it like a baby, and then put it down on the ground, or it fell down.
So why?
So the bear never. So the bear cub never got back over with his sibling and the mom.
Well, they said they couldn't reunite it with the mom. Was it because it couldn't get back over the fence?
Yes, and then they tried. It said the rangers tried to the wildlife experts. It didn't say why. It just said they tried reuniting it with the mother, but they never could. So I think part of it is they could not identify.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not like you have one bear.
But like in the wild, from what I've read about elephants, for example, an elephant, like if the mama elephant is killed, the elephant herd, another mother, like a wet nurse,
right?
Wet nurse, think wet nurse. Another mama elephant will bring that baby on, and make it a part of hers.
Like, no, not the bears.
Like a foster parent elephant.
The bears.
Bears don't do that ever,
to my knowledge. No. No, I mean, they couldn't find a mother bear to take this cub.
They didn't euthanize it, though. They gave it to like a zoo.
No,
or
they
something,
gave
right?
it to
somebody.
Well,
how about these fucking Russians we keep looking on Instagram? They're like eating the watermelon with them and fucking. I don't know if they're grizzlies necessarily, but there's something. I think that they're grizzlies.
A wild bear.
I mean, they're gigantic. They're not just like your typical black bear like in Tennessee.
No,
they're some type of grizzly.
They're a brown bear. Which brown bears? There is a difference, people, but they kind of on the DNA tree are very similar. Brown bear and grizzly. We learned
about this. The brown bear is grizzly, but it's also the
Kodiak bear.
Kodiak bear.
Up in
so
Alaska.
I think the Kodiak bear is what they have in Russia also,
which are also very aggressive. It's the same.
Like
they're bigger.
They're bigger. Was it plate tectonic? What the fuck plate? The fuck when the world
plate tectonics?
Yeah, whatever. I didn't teach about that. Clearly, I didn't learn about it either. But yeah, like.
But they're
so the
bigger.
Bears were like all over in that region.
Part of the reason the Kodiak bears are bigger is because
huge.
There's a little, if we're speaking in terms, a little change in their DNA. Plus, the biologists will tell you they eat all this freaking salmon up there, so they are well fed and well fat up there. So they weigh like over 700 pounds.
I just watched something about
the Kodiaks.
No, somewhere where the ice is melting.
Oh yeah.
And it's detrimental to the polar bears.
Yes.
It's like really bad for the polar bears. Like it's really bad for the polar bears
and their habitat.
So, yeah, it's
because they live on it.
I think now Joe might be home. One of us has to go get the door. Sorry,
because I'll get it when he knocks. Because they live on the icebergs, and it is
better range
like
than me.
Disintegrating.
Yes, I watched a program recently about it. I was watching something, or maybe I was reading. I don't fucking know. reading, watching, something.
Well, so they didn't euthanize that bear, wherever that black bear was that we saw on
Thank
the
God.
show.
It
But
was a
then they
cute little
talk
cub.
about the little bison, the little baby bison calf.
Oh, yeah, oh my God, yes. Someone picked one up.
So that was in the news
fuck?
last year, and they kind of skirted around the actual story. They got the gist of it. But this gentleman thought that this bison calf was separated from its mother, which wasn't really the case. Although he wasn't doing this to be malicious, he thought he was helping. So he picked up the baby calf and put him in the trunk of his car and then drove it to a ranger station. So
Did
now,
he get fined?
Yeah.
Good.
So, and he apologized. He said he was just trying to help. So this is not a malicious guy. He was like taken to the ranger station.
The signs say, do not touch the fucking wildlife. Do not touch the wildlife.
And it's not like they all have names out there. So
Joe's home.
the bears and the animals don't have names.
Let me get it.
So
Okay.
they...
Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay.
So
okay.
they don't...
She's getting it. Just unlock the door. Sorry. She'll be right back. Sorry. I forgot to unlock the door for my husband, and we got started, and here we are. Anyway. Was that him? Was that not him?
It is him.
Oh, I was like, well, I didn't hear the door. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I let some stranger in.
We're
At
filming, Joe.
any rate, they could not find the mom of this calf.
Right. I
And
mean, there's
nobody would
how
just-
many bison, for Christ?
Right,
You
and
can't
nobody would
reunite
just
it.
adopt this calf either. So
So they're not like the elephants. The elephants
So
are
they
like...
unfortunately had to euthanize that
The elephants
calf.
are clearly the
People don't touch wildlife. Like when we were little and we had baby birds, you remember Dad's like, don't touch them. The mom will smell you're human and they won't
I
take
think
them.
also they're dirty. You know,
And same
don't
with the
touch
baby
it.
bunnies in the yard.
Ouch. Fuck.
I mean, not that we played with them, but we lived, like
I
out.
can't with the baby bunnies. I cannot with the baby bunnies. Look, I can't.
We
I
had
used to
baby
love to
bunnies in
watch
our
the
yard.
fox, and I cannot watch the fox anymore because now I fucking hate the fox and I want to kill the fox.
Speaking of foxes, it reminded me of this. It's a coyote. So there is this
As I
video.
said on CNN, they called it a coyote.
Yeah.
So coyote or coyote? I guess it depends on where you're from in the country.
The coyote. No, so this
coyote.
had nothing to do with Yellowstone. It was in a suburban
my
area.
neck.
This was in a suburban area. Just saw it on the news. This black bear. You see this black bear standing next to a tree in somebody's front yard, and it's like turned around looking. There is this coyote. And the way I know it's a coyote is because they told me. It's a little blurry. But it's on someone's Ring doorbell. This has
Oh my
how they
God.
captured this video in the front yard of this person's house. This coyote comes ripping across the other person's lawn through the driveway. This guy's lawn now.
Oh, God, you get
chases
someone's
the
little
bear.
dog? Oh, the
no,
bear.
he
Oh, the bear.
chases
Okay,
the
okay.
bear up
My God.
up the tree, stands there and barks for a while, and then leaves. And then the bear is very hesitant to come back down. It's very interesting.
When I was teaching, there was a bear song. The kids loved it. The other day.
Yeah, we
the
sang
other
that
day,
song. It was Mrs. Adelman.
I saw a bear. I saw a bear.
Go sing it, please.
Oh, way over there. Oh, way over there. I saw a bear. I saw a bear.
We used to do it with
the
rounds.
other day I saw a bear.
Don't you remember? We used to do it with rounds.
I saw a bear way up there.
Does anybody
Could you
remember
it?
a round singing in rounds like you were group 1, group 2,
Wait, oh my
group
God!
3,
Wait, yeah,
group
but
4?
wait! I know this song.
The other day.
I know, but I know. There's more to it than just what I just sang.
The other day I saw a bear. That's the title of it.
I know, but there's more words and I can't think of them.
Okay, well, it went on for a long time in the music book. Do you remember those music
It was
books?
fun though. I don't remember those.
I always
It was
hated
a fun
singing in the
song.
rounds. In Row, Row, Row Your Boat, we sang in a round too. Why do you have to sing in rounds? Well, I don't see.
The bear saw me. I climbed a tree. I forget. I know what happened.
Do you want to sing a little bunny foo foo too?
That would have stuck in my head for fucking days. For days, it'll be stuck in my head.
Did we learn that in nursery
Little
school?
bunny foo foo,
Hopping through the forest. We did that in kindergarten.
Through the forest, popping you on the head, whatever.
We learned that in kindergarten. I don't think they teach that anymore.
No, it's a horrible song. You're
I
not
don't-
popping the fucking rabbit on the head. The fuck kind of song?
But you had like fun little bunny foo foo.
I don't want to see you hopping through the forest and popping them on the head. I can't.
I
Oh
look
my
like I've
God.
been put through the ringer, and it is 5 days until school
Look,
starts.
look how bad I have bad roots too. I
Yeah.
have to get it done.
I know, but
I don't
I'm
typically
just-
get it done over the summer because of swimming in the pool. Like I don't want to pay to have it colored, and then just like
people.
fuck it up in the pool. And
This summer has been the longest, but shortest, all at the same time summer I've had.
I mean, it kind of flew
in, like,
by,
20
but at the
years.
same time, yeah. Oh my God, I should go out. Joe, can you hear me? No. I picked a massive amount of tomatoes today. Like
did you?
massive.
What are you doing
cherry
with them?
tomatoes.
You should do that thing they have on Instagram or TikTok where you put the feta cheese in and the olive oil and some spices and the cherry tomatoes and you cook it in the oven and you make a
Yeah, I do
meal.
all kinds of shit with them.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it was, I made a Mediterranean fish bake, which white fish, any kind of white fish, tilapia, cod, halibut, haddock, whatever. I don't fucking know. White fish, with just put it in a pan, some olive oil, a ton of cherry tomatoes. I like them to blister first, so next time I might heat them first and then put them in so
How
they
do you
blister better.
them?
Well,
On
they're
the
supposed to cut
stovetop?
them in half. I don't like to cut them in half. You blister them. You can blister them on the stovetop, or you can. I don't think you like cooked tomatoes.
I don't, but if they're in something, I'll eat them.
Like I'll just take a cookie sheet and just blister a cookie sheet of them, like at 425 for like 20 minutes, and they'll blister, and then I'll mix it with like herbs and whatever and olive oil and like put it on top of like mozzarella cheese. The other night, so the fish bake though it's capers, black olives, tomatoes,
that sounds
some mild ring, like banana ring pepper or whatever.
rings.
Yeah, and just bake it in the oven at 425 for like 15 minutes. It was fucking tasty.
Good.
So, but yeah, so we have more tomatoes today. Oh my god, so we're like an hour and 50. We gotta go. It's an hour and 15. We gotta go.
Well, happy Labor Day.
And then I also want to point out, I did not finish the bottle of wine. Here's the rest of it.
Almost.
I started without you, Joe.
Thirsty Thursday.
In my skull mug. Isn't that fun?
Starting Labor Day weekend early.
Hang on, so you can see it better. Hang on.
Oh, just chug it. Just chug it down. Can you see the eyes?
Oh,
Yeah.
it was too much. Ooh.
It was actually, you could see it better before
know.
you put the wine
I thought
in
you'd be able to see it better with the wine, which is why I thought I'll get the.
No.
Oh.
Oh.
Sorry. Big gulp. Big gulp.
Okay.
All right, so it's Labor Day weekend.
On that note.
Happy Labor Day, everybody.
Labor
Hopefully
Day.
everybody can fucking hear this time. And
Did you push record?
yes, an hour and 15 minutes for fuck's sake. That's how I know the time. Christ. Anyway.
So we'll see you next week for
we'll see you
43.
next week. This is 42.
43
This
for
is
episode
41.
43 next week.
This is 41. Next week is
Oh.
42.
Oh.
And I'm the one that's fucking drinking wine.
It's been a long summer. I don't even know my name.
Whatever.
I don't know
And
my name.
next week, so we should be able to get back onto a regular schedule too,
Yeah.
of doing it during the day and having it posted before the weekend and all
Yeah.
the things. Then my last summer little thing here because
Look at
excuse me,
yourself. Look at yourself.
I'm over it. And we have fun new headbands
Oh God, fall is like
for
right
Halloween.
around the corner.
But so when I mean fall, I also mean Halloween. So like,
yeah, but fall weather is almost here, and I'm so excited.
I can't fucking wait. So anyway, okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if we have any new subscribers, I don't know if we had any new subscribers this week, but
No, I didn't
And
see
Mary, it was Mary who last week said that she couldn't hear us. It
Right,
was
so we're
going in
sorry.
and out. So we apologize for that.
Campiness
Again, like,
is kind of the fun of it. I understand
we are
when you can't hear.
technologically fucking.
I understand when you can't hear, it gets annoying, but like the rawness of
Well,
of
I was watching. I could still hear. It was annoying because it was
right.
like us.
That's why we
our
shouldn't-
voices would get loud and then softer because like the pool would pick up
Right.
or the wind would pick up or whatever. But I could not, and I can't usually. I don't hear well, but I could not hear. But depending on which device you're on, also again, you wouldn't be able to hear. So,
Right.
All the fucking things. Look.
All the things.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning
Bye.
in. Have a great week.
Thanks.
Enjoy your Labor Day weekend.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Fucker.